everyone, this is Rebecca from Papeterie de Joie, and welcome to In the Studio. I'm going to be working with some of my DIY alcohol ink. I went to visit my parents this week and just got home this afternoon, and I started not to make a video, and then I thought, well, I really want to keep my commitment. Yesterday was my dad's 83rd birthday, and so I went up to celebrate and visit with them. But I was looking around, okay, what can I do that would make a halfway decent video that I can do, quickly in one go. And I thought, you know what? I've had this coffee ink that has been curing for... This is the middle of March. I'm going to say about 4 months. And I just put it at the back of the shelf because you have to kind of do it in the dark. And I'd forgotten about it. So we're going to jar this up, and then we're going to see what color it makes. Now, what is different with this than with my the ink that I do the edges of my paper with, is that's made with instant coffee. This is made from ground coffee beans with pure alcohol. This is 91% alcohol in here. So we're going to see what it does. I've got to strain it, of course, and I'll link a video where I do that, but I'm going to strain it off camera and come back, and we're going to do some papers and see what color of brown it gives us. So I will be right back. Okay, so the coffee is over here percolating, so to speak. It's very dark. I mean, I don't know if you could make coffee that dark. Maybe my great-grandpa, he made coffee black as night and would drink it so hot he had to slurp it out of his cup, but not me. Okay, I make coffee with alcohol. The non-drinking kind. So, so I have poured as much liquid out as I dare without the whole thing dumping out. Now, the reason that I did this experiment in the first place, I love coffee. I drink it almost every day. But someone had given me some coffee beans as a gift that had maple flavoring added. And I just couldn't do it. Just couldn't. And I'd had them for maybe 3-4 years, sitting in a jar. And I had put them in the alcohol whole, and they did nothing. So I ground up these back, I want to say in November. So, like I did in the other experiments, I'm going to put out the ingredients. This is 60-pound cardstock, just like I did with the other experiments. I'm not going to do all of it. I don't think I'm going to need it all. But then again, I might. Yeah, I think I'm going to. I'll just dump the whole thing and get all of that, or at least as much as possible. I'll rewash that jar and use it for something else. You see, it's got kind of mushy at the bottom, but I'm just really curious as to what color this is going to be. I have no idea what quality of the beans were, but that's what I was told when I was given that they had been that maple flavoring had been added to the beans. Well, I like that color. I really, really, really do. And there's enough liquid in here, I can do a few more. And I will do that for sure. But I don't want to get these coffee crumbs everywhere. So I'm going to have to let this dry, I think, like this. and then wipe them off when it's finished drying. But that's a pretty neat color. So I'm going to put this over on my other workstation, and I'm going to grab another piece of paper, and I'm going to do some more of this off camera, and when this dries I'll come back and show you what it all looks like. But in order for me to turn off the camera, I've got to take this glove off, because I do not want this mess on the camera. So I will be back with more experimental coffee dyed paper, coffee alcohol ink dyed paper, shortly. So this is the first piece of paper I did that you saw me do at the very beginning. And this is the second one. And this is the side I had down. And then the third one, this is the one side. I love this color. It's like a caramel almost. And it does have somewhat of a maple scent. It's got more of a maple scent than it does a coffee scent. Now, it obviously had the crumbs all over it, so this one still has a few, but not many. So I just took, this is just a cloth napkin, a cotton napkin, and I just rubbed the dust off, so to speak, to give me the smooth underneath. And I did already do this side, but I think I got a little bit on it there. But these are the 3 sheets of 60-pound cardstock. So I'm loving this color. This will make some good backgrounds for tags or pockets or decoupage napkins or whatever I decide to do with it. But I still have all the grounds, although most of the alcohol has evaporated already. I don't know that I could get another piece out of this. But what I would like to do is dump this and bring in the liquid and spray a piece of paper and see how that differs from dumping the grounds on. So one more set to the experiment and I think we'll be done. Okay, I'm going to do something I have never done before. Now this is the coffee mixture diluted down roughly half and half with alcohol and coffee, so you can see it's considerably lighter. And I did put it in a bottle that I'd washed out, but it's still got a little residue of blue paint in it. So my thought is I am going to get my pipette, which I forgot. And I'm going to use that. I'm going to drop, this is 5 sheets of just regular 20-pound copy paper. And so basically I'm going to, 5 sheets is roughly what I would put in a signature. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. I've never done sheets layered in this manner. So this is going to be just somewhat of a new experiment in that. So I'm going to drop some coffee. You can see it is very yellow compared to quote-unquote regular coffee. And I'm just going to give it some drops. And if I drop that in there, it's going to... And then I'm going to take my diluted coffee mixture. This is just this alcohol and this coffee ink and alcohol. That's all this is. And I'm going to go over, because compared to what the color coffee usually is, this is definitely a caramel color and not a dark brown, almost chocolatey like color. Okay. It looks somewhat saturated. Okay, I'm lay it to the side. And this has gone through, but I'm going to add some more. and hope that my finger don't get a cramp in it. Let's trade sides. I'm right-handed, but my hands don't want to cooperate on and on and on. Now, this is what I'm looking for, is this dark outline. So let's just put a little bit around the edges to make sure they're nice and saturated. I don't want the pages to be white. Okay, put that to the side, give that a few squirts. And I think on my last sheet I'll use it and just mop up all this that's coming out over here. Around the edges. Okay, now let's turn this one over and put a few drops. And hope that I don't run completely out before this little experiment is over. It don't hurt to experiment if you've got the ingredients to do it with. Now, alcohol makes paper stronger when it's wet with alcohol. Not when it's with water, it's a different story. But with alcohol, it usually holds its strength very, very well. Now, I'm going to try to soak up some of it. Ooh, sorry. I'm going to try to soak up some of this with this last sheet. So it's probably going to look a little odd compared to the rest of it. But that's alright. We'll use it however it comes. Alright, let's see if we can. This is a 2-ounce bottle, and I believe it's going to take every bit of it, minus a touch, I suppose. Alright, I'm going to turn that back over that way. Now, I'm going to stack them all together. And this is something else I don't usually do because I don't like the air bubbles. But with the alcohol, it does create some interest. So I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to take them over here to my iron, and I'm going to iron them dry, and then we'll take a look at them. I come from the mountains, and sometimes that mountain accent just creeps out, especially since I spent the last 4 days with my parents dropping all my vowels. So, alright, so I'm going to dry this and see how it looks afterward. Okay, I'm back with the dried results of those 5 sheets of copy paper. Now this is the one that I dried up the residue with while it was still wet. Just soaked it up, and you can see it left a few little marks along in the different places, but it didn't change the overall appearance of the paper. It's not that different than it was. This is my favorite one because of these dried edges. It just has that to me makes it have an authentic aged look. And then here the drops dried before I got the spray on, so it didn't have a chance to make it spread a little bit more, but that's fine. It's a good one. And then this one's pretty much the same. Now, The reason this one looks so different is I dried it, then came back in and mopped up the remainder of the residue that I didn't get with the first one. And so when the paper is dry, it soaks it up completely differently. So that's why it looks like it's got marks on it as opposed to blending. So just something to take into account depending on if you decide to do something like this with paint or ink, whatever, that how the paper soaks it up differently. Here's the other sheet to compare to. It's how it soaks it up differently if the paper is dry or if the paper is wet when you soak up any residue on the paper. So that's been the experiment, so to speak, with coffee ink from ground coffee beans. And this is the 60 pound, and I think I have a limited, this is all I have. So I think I am going to, over the next few days, dye some more papers because of them being such a different color than regular coffee paper, and then make a project specifically using the papers that I dye from this color. So that'll be on the list of things to do in the next few weeks. So thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you with another project very soon.